Awesome. Hi, Lois. How are you?
Hola, how are you?
Good, good. I just want to say you're absolutely killing it right now. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm from Brooklyn, growing up in the 90s in New York City. It's amazing watching your career blossom. My mom is also named Rosa. I just wanted to throw that out. Um, so she's a huge fan. So I'm really excited to speak with you. And I just wanted to say, like in Wednesday, you bring such like a cartoon accurate character to life with Gomez. And he's faithful to it. Your charisma to the source material, you're passionate, you're optimistic, and you bring so much life to the character.
Thank you.
Um, and then now let's get into Havoc. So you play Mia's Uncle Raul. It's Christmas Day. We got a lot of like dirty cops, dirty politicians, triads, and a lot of guns. There's a crazy amount of guns in this movie. I just want to say Raul's a badass and you protect your own. Family's really important to you. You get a little bit of gunplay in there. What was it like preparing for the action sequences? What did it entail?
Um, being very attentive, um, being very attentive and being very attentive. And, just watching how everything is demonstrated for you, so you don't do something and hurt yourself or hurt somebody else. And, because that's the whole movement of this type of movie. It's everything is choreographed, and it's not just choreographed once or twice. It's choreographed over a week to 2 to 3 weeks. Depending on the scene, of course. But it's one of those kind of movies that you gotta really choreograph and rehearse it and go over it and over it. So when you're shooting, you're not just shooting the action, but you're also shooting to kind of you're doing a dance with a camera too. You know what I mean? So you gotta always land right so you don't spend your energy on doing something you're not supposed to do or an angle you're not supposed to be in.
Yeah, the camera work was crazy in this movie too. It's very fast. The
Oh my
panning, like
God.
with the movement, it's intense.
Yeah, man. So the first time I watched this movie, I was really blown away by it because it moved so fast, so quickly, and it was super, super, super intense. And then the second time, I was just able to really appreciate it more. But I watched it with an audience, and they were like mesmerized by how well, number one, it was shot, and number two, how quickly it moved. You know, this movie had a real flow to it.
I'm gonna get you out. It ain't up for discussion.
No, I lost my train of thought. That's how quick it goes.
Before becoming an actor, you were also a social worker. So you're very close to working with like young people and being involved in the community. What can you tell us about Raul and what community and family means to him and how the characters kind of like you and kind of different?
Well, he's he's a hustler, but he's street savvy. He's very knowledgeable of what goes on in the environment, and he just tries to steer this girl the right way because obviously she don't have parents, and he's like the surrogate father to her. And like I said, for me, when I was a social worker, it was like pretty much the same thing. Dealing with young people who had situations and really needed guidance, and that's kind of what I provided to my girl there, and so I was able to just apply my life skills to this character.
And you're a fantastic character actor. You've had a long career where you've kind of played both sides of the law, often playing like thugs and cops. And I'm not saying that they're interchangeable, but what kind of nuance do you think it like brings to these characters and like what kind of conversations the movie will open up about like themes of corruption and like conspiracy?
Um, it's just a different take, because these movies have been made before, but it's just the look, it's a different story in that genre of corruption and conspiracy and stuff like that. But it's also the way it's shot. I think for me, this is a real throwback movie to that time when they used to make these kind of movies, and Gareth Evans, who directed this movie, I think did a phenomenal job with it. I think people will definitely be highly entertained by this movie, and there's great action in it. Tom Hardy, the powerhouse in this, and we have a great supporting cast, and so you have a good recipe to be pleasantly and actively and rapidly entertained.
Rapidly is a good word.
So yeah.
Kill them all.
And what do you think this character wants most? What do you think they're willing to sacrifice without getting into too much, but kind of his relationship with Mia and what you think your character's motivations are?
Just being a good dude and being a hustler, because that's the rule of the street, You got to play it right, but you got to have your hustle on, and you need to know what to say and how to say it and when to say it. That's it. Otherwise, I'm going to corrupt you.
What do you think was your favorite line of dialogue? For me, it was definitely when you're like, I call you, you don't call me.
Yeah, because that's the street smarts in him, because sometimes, she's so young, she doesn't understand. Theo, what I do now? So I hang up the phone, because he knows how all this works. He knows, I guess, about wiretapping, and it's like, so, it's his street cred, and she doesn't know that he's passing that down to her, but that's who he is. He knows the rule.
What you got for me?
For you, in terms of like action, how much do you like to get involved in terms of like doing like stunts?
I hate stunts.
Yeah.
I don't do stunts really. Uh, it all depends. Like, if I have to jump out of a 20-story building into airbag, I'm okay with that.
Oh.
But if I got like ride a horse and go full gallop, it's not gonna happen. Uh, and the worst stunt you can have me do, like, I don't mind diving into water and like fighting off, half a dozen sharks, but don't ask me to run uphill. Don't ask me to run uphill. That's not gonna happen.
So they'll be jumping out of buildings, but no horses, no running.
Uphill and fighting sharks is okay.
No fighting sharks. Wait, you will fight sharks?
Yeah.
I'm scared.
You never fought a shark?
I'm scared of water.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that explains that. Okay, good.
This was awesome though. Thank you so much. Lastly, for you, what else do you have coming up that you can talk about?
Well, I have a movie called Two Guns Up with Kevin James and Christina Ricci coming out in a month or two. I also have Wednesday.
Yes.
Comes out in August and September. And I also have a movie that I executive produce that is going to be at Tribeca Film Festival.
Oh, yay.
And it's a Puerto Rican movie. And it's called West Side Story. And Semi Guzmán is the producer of that. And yeah, we got into Tribeca. We're really proud of it.
Amazing. Congrats.
I hope you better go see it.
Yeah, I hope to see it. I hope to see it.
Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
That's exciting. Congrats, Louis. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.